Good morning, West in the world, and welcome to your review video for Thursday, October the 29th. This morning in class we introduced the first of what will be two parts in lectures that reflect on the 19th century between 1815 and 1914 and sort of broadly categorized under the idea of ideologies of change. We said that this time framework is an important one because 1815 it marks the end of the Napoleonic conflict, 1914 the outbreak of World War I, and that between those two events, Europe experiences what is a period of, in some senses, great stability, but also in other senses, a time period of great change. So what we're trying to track here are some of the major ideas that are contributing to change. What are the new ideas that people are either embracing or that are making them uncomfortable in this time period? So we talked first about sort of what's going on in 1815, the Congress of Vienna, the attempt to sort of roll back the clock on the French Revolution, and how that fails in light of the continued revolutionary spirit animated by the philosophies of liberalism and nationalism, in contrast to the conservatism of those at the Congress of Vienna. And that although these are very partial steps in Europe, we see in Latin America, in Haiti and Venezuela and Peru and elsewhere, this sort of tide of revolutionary change that signals that things are steadily moving in a new direction. Then we moved to two other examples of sort of ideologies that push towards change. One is Charles Darwin's idea of natural selection and of evolution by the process of natural selection. This idea is, we said, one of those that sort of unsettles things in Europe. Not because people can't wrap their heads around the idea of evolution. That is not so much Darwin's new idea. But because of the fact that natural selection as an explanatory mechanism opens up the possibility of a world in which change is happening in an unguided, non-directional fashion. And the fact that natural selection does not require God, though it obviously does not disprove the existence of God, the fact that it explains change in terms of chance, actually seems like a very unsettling idea to people who want to see, who have been conditioned to think in linear, progressive terms about how things are going to change. And as we said in class, we will see ways in which Darwinism is picked up and expressed in a variety of other fashions in sort of human relationships that gets especially sort of ugly. Then we turned our attention to Romanticism, one of the dominant sort of influential schools of thought of the early 19th century. Romanticism, we said, is reacting to a variety of things that they see as posing sort of dangers to their time period. And trying to call people back to certain values and ideas. So we tried to identify, as we talked through all kinds of different examples in the visual arts, in Géricault and Turner's works, in the literature, people like Mary Shelley, or William Wordsworth, or Lord Byron, these multitude of examples that they're united around. Maybe we said 4 themes, and it's important that we try to sort of hold on to these and look for the ways in which all these different expressions of Romanticism embody these. So what are those 4 themes? Number 1, the centrality of emotion. As a way of knowing the world, emotion matters to the Romantics. And not just happy emotions, but all emotions. Shock, horror, dread, fear, as well as joy, happiness, ecstasy. These are all important parts of how we come to know and experience the world. Secondly, the bonds of community. The idea that people share natural linkages through spiritual life, through national life, and that these bonds are an important part of our identity and should be encouraged. This, of course, will explicitly link Romanticism to nationalism for us in the days ahead. Third, there is a warning about the dangers of industrialization, and particularly mechanization. So think here of the contrast between what Mary Shelley understands life to be and what Frankenstein creates in the monster. This excessive scientific endeavor, this excessive reliance on sort of reason and rationality leads to dangerous assumptions that miss the essence of human life. So a warning against the sort of ugliness of industrialization, its dangers to human existence. And then lastly, the emphasis on, or the embrace of, the beauty of what is natural, of the physical environment, the beauty of light reflecting on the ocean, the beauty of trees and the natural world, the beauty of the existence of life itself. These are major themes embraced by Romantics, and if you can hold on to those sort of four common threads, it will help you sort of identify in any work of the Romantic period what are its crucial components. Next time, we'll move on into some other ideologies, especially centered around that theme of community and how it should be defined. So we'll talk more about that on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, everybody.